The next one is one I don't think either of you have seen, but it's one that's always stuck with me again. It's from 2004, and this I didn't get on VHS because the person then didn't realise, this 70-year-old lady didn't realise she had BBC Three, which is where it aired.
Oh, I know what it is. I know what it is.
It's the first show on the list from Jed Mercurio. You can guess what the other one is. This was a medical drama called Bodies. Bodies blew my mind. As a family, we've always liked medical documentaries, you know, Great Ormond Street, 24 Hours in A&E, even the lighter stuff like Children's Hospital in the 90s. But I'd never seen anything on telly, medical-wise, that replicated that, you know, that wasn't Casualty, where people were, you know, doing all sorts of silly things, falling off ladders into toasters and then on, you know, into a canal.
Falling off ladders into toasters.
And then hammering nails into their hands.
Looking back on it now, there are real connections between it and Line of Duty, because it's not so much about the medical cases. It was about the sniping within the NHS and the inner colleague. So Max Beasley, who is the lead in the show, is brought on as a registrar to top surgeon, played by Patrick Ballady. He was sort of second in command to Patrick Ballady's character.
Dr. Roger Hurley.
Dr. Roger Hurley, who was, you know, poster boy for the hospital. He was a really well-spoken, eloquent doctor, but ultimately someone who makes a lot of mistakes and who gets his colleagues to cover up for them.
So, did you do many sterilisations in your previous post?
Good for you.
Good.
No, it's a lap and die. Gillian Campbell, G8889538274, laparoscopy and die.
You sure?
Yes.
Someone bring me the notes, please. Sterilisation. Lap and die for subfertility we saw on the ward round. Rob, you happy?
The list's wrong.
Okay, correct the theatre list, please. Okay, back to work, everyone. Music, please. I do beg your pardon, Maria.
Is that it? This patient's desperate to get pregnant. You came within a whisker of sterilising her.
We'll deal with it later. Ready, Rob?
Mr. Lake, do you know who's responsible for this cock-up?
Sorry, first day.
Scalpel.
Shall I report this as a newness?
I just said we'll deal with this later.
And you realised as soon as he got into surgery that he had no idea what he was doing. He had no idea how to do it. He wasn't a very competent surgeon. Everybody else in the hospital knew it, but he was a good face for the hospital. So Max Beasley, as his junior, had to take on all his work. Then there was Keith Allen as Dr. Tony Whitman, who was just above Patrick Ballady and knew that Patrick Ballady's character, Roger, was this incompetent person, and so was always trying to undermine him. But all of the medical stuff was just done with so much, just so much
like
reality.
Research, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he worked.
Well, of course, he was a
doctor.
He was a doctor, Jed Mercurio.
Was he a doctor or was he?
Yeah.
Oh, I
he
didn't
was
know
a
that.
doctor. And he'd done cardiac arrest prior to this, which I, to this day, have still never seen. But Bodies was the first thing I saw of his, and it's really brutal. It pulls no punches. It is.
He worked
really...
in the army, didn't he? It says here he was undergraduate at the University of Birmingham Medical School, enlisted in the Royal Air Force, and underwent pilot training with the intention of specialising in aviation medicine.
These aren't ordinary dramas. These are Luke's Desert Island Dramas.
You've been Roger's registrar for... how long is it now? Surely you must have cause for concern.
He's just delivered a healthy baby from a healthy mum.
He was appointed based on his research in ovarian disease. That and the funding that he brings to the hospital. He isn't experienced enough in general obstetric practice to hold the post of consultant in O&G.
You ever made a mistake? Ever killed someone?
I've been a doctor for 13 years. Of course I have.
Well then, with all due respect, who are you to point the finger?
Every doctor makes mistakes. But everybody in this hospital knows that Roger makes mistakes again and again and again. Roger Hurley may be a good guy, He's not that good a doctor.
The dramas that shaped us.
Apparently, he
very
wrote a
dark.
novel first. It was based on a novel that he wrote.
Yeah, it was very dark, and I really wish you'd both seen this, because I think Gary particularly, if you love Critical, which was from Jed, but almost the antithesis of Bodies, I think there's some.
Well,
you
I'd
would
be honest. I
really
don't
love
think.
watching.
Well, let's be honest. Neither of you two gave Critical the time I did, so I think that's a little unfair. But I will concede that you've talked more fondly about Bodies than I will about Critical.
It's the first medical drama that I thought feels like you're watching a documentary, because it wasn't all about this. She's losing blood. Clear, stand back, clear. It wasn't all about all those medical drama cliches that you're familiar with. It was just very methodical, really well done.